Hey my bro, we welcome here to one more video and this new format now in the car. Uh, I, I ask you to apologize me if the quality is not perfect, but whatever. I wanted to discuss here today some ideas that the subscribers brought me in the comments about the economy here, Brazil versus USA. Because my argument was that the economy of USA will always beat Brazilian economy. So if you make money in dollars or euros, you will always have this appreciation of the currency in relation to real. But some subscribers brought the arguments about the volatility. Okay, that the volatility is high. That sometimes, as Brazil is a commodity produce based, and sometimes we have the boom of commodities. The real appreciates in relation to the dollar, and let's discuss here a little bit better about this. Okay, really, I read some comments about, and I was thinking about and researching that some moments. In some points of the history, the real appreciates against the dollar, but I didn't change my mind about the fact that in the long term, the dollar will always appreciate in relation to real. That's so true that we observe. In the last, since real was created in 1993. It was 1-to-1, and now it's 5-to-1. So it depreciated 500% in relation to the dollar. Okay, is just like this. Okay, and I think yes, we have some gap between USA and Brazil. Okay. And some people say that Brazil is an emergent country that someday will just grow and pass and will be rich. Okay, and in this channel I really expose a native living here and know how people think, because to things change in Brazil, really we should have a really deep change of mentality of people here to elect politicians that will make the real chance that Brazil needs to grow. But unfortunately, what we observe here in Brazil is that things will not change, not in my lifetime, let me say like this. Okay, maybe Brazil one day will really have this change in some things that slow down the economy, that I point a lot that we have here. Okay, we have a lot of these points that I don't visualize the possibility of changing this, because as I say, we would need a very huge change in the mentality of people to elect the governments to do this change. Okay, some things that make economy go so slow is the labor laws here are very severe. Okay, they have a lot of regulation, and they are creating more and more regulations, even more, and I can't visualize a possibility that this could change. Okay, because if a politic would want to change this, he wouldn't be elected. If he mentioned this, he wouldn't be elected. Never. There is no possibility that people would allow something like this change. Okay, just reduce the labor law, should be something more similar to the United States. This free association and hiding and fighting, okay, is not like this here in Brazil. That's one of the key points that make we have few jobs available here and few productivity here. Okay, so when we compare USA to Brazil, I don't think this gap will is like to be closer, because we have this huge light years gap between USA and Brazil. Okay, and the tendency I see in the long term is this gap increase, okay? Because I see living here in Brazil that the problems are getting worse and worse with the pass of the time, because as I said, Brazil to really change, he would need this profound change in a lot of aspects in the laws, in the politics, how the system works, that couldn't change. Okay, so if Brazil persists with this lot of regulations, bureaucracy, labor laws, and a lot of points that I discussed here, the tendency is the productivity and the stagnation continue to be as it always be forever in the history. Okay, if you see, Brazil is basically stagnated for the last decades. Okay, and the tendency is to continue like this. So as I said, when we compare Brazil to USA, the tendency is Brazil begin the same with the pass of the time. So obviously you have this volatility, okay, because Brazil is basically a rural commodity exporter. So when we have this boom of commodities, obviously maybe for a time, for some years, your dollars will worth less here. We'll have a momentaneous appreciation of the real, but it's transitory. Okay, if this commodity boom goes down, Brazil, this depreciation will pay even double, triple your money with the pass of the time. One solution I could give to you, if you are afraid of living here in Brazil and have this like depreciation of a currency, you can just invest in something very small here in Brazil to have this income in reais too, if you are planning to live here. Because as I said, I really think Brazil is the best option here, in my opinion. Okay, I could be wrong. Okay, I would like to discuss this, put in the comments if I'm wrong. Okay, but Brazil has so many advantages for the gringos to come here. This thing of depreciation of the currency, I see some subscribers, they talked about Mexico like be a better option than Brazil, because it's only 2 hours flight from the USA, from Miami. Okay, this could be a very positive point, but there are other points here in Brazil that I mentioned that are very positive. And one thing, another point that I didn't mention, it's that Brazil is a huge country, has a lot of options. Mexico is maybe is huge, but Brazil makes frontiers with a lot of poor countries. Okay, we have Argentina, we have a lot of poor countries, we have Colombia, Venezuela, we have a huge mix of countries that are very poor too. We have Chile that is more developed, is one of the only rich countries in Latin America, let me say like this. Okay, so you have this whole lot of options that if things really go wrong here in Brazil, you can just move the frontier. It's just I don't know how it works for the foreigners, but for us Brazilians, we can it's very easy to go to other countries that are frontier, just to move and live. Is very open. We have this Mercosur integration with the Latin America countries like European Union. Okay, so something like this, but with a lot of poor countries. Okay, so your dollars will always appreciate in relation to these poor countries, because the logic is very similar. Okay, these poor countries are poor not by accident and not by something of the gods. No, it's because they insist in the same mistakes that Brazil makes. Okay, that I mentioned here. Okay, so I think if you make dollars or euros, you have a very positive long-term possibility, okay, of appreciation of your currency. And if you are afraid of the volatility, make, as I say here, there are there is this very good business idea that I give here. Okay, if you have some kind of $20,000-$30,000 in the bank account, something like this, okay, you can just begin slow with this idea that I give here of business, that is this small bed and breakfast that you live inside. You don't pay rent, okay, because you just buy a cheap land in the countryside here in the Ceará, northeast Brazil. It's very touristic, the beach. We have the hot seasons, carnival, holidays, that it appreciate, it make more expensive the diary. So you can just buy a 5 rooms house and rent the rooms here in this touristic beach here. There are a lot of gringos doing this and making money. There is a lot of Brazilian from the south and the southeast doing this. We know a person that made this. She lives in Minas Gerais. She left everything behind in Minas Gerais and come here to Ceará, to specifically Paracuru beach that I mention a lot here in the channel, and she just built a bed and breakfast and she's living there. She's living there with their kids. She's renting the room. The rooms are very expensive, okay? And in the carnivals, she charged like 10 times expensive, like 5-10 times expensive for the room for the day, okay? And she makes up a income from this, okay? So you can make up extra income in reais to make, like, protect your, if we have this appreciation of the reais, you have this like income in reais, okay, to protect you against the volatility, okay? And it's an investment. You are buying a real estate here in Brazil, and this touristic beach always will have like demand, okay? They will always have demand, okay? So you are kind of investing, making an income to you, and having a real estate in Brazil, spending a lot less than you if you would buy an apartment in a big city, okay? I think it's a very good business idea. I think a way to start your life here in Brazil very slow without spending a really lot of money, okay? So that's it. Put your thoughts in the comments, please. I love to debate these ideas with you, my subscribers from other countries. It's very good for me, okay? I learn a lot. And that's it. Let me show me what you think, okay? That's it. Don't forget to subscribe, like the button, okay? And see you.